My family said I was selfish for not giving up my honeymoon. We spent 3 years planning this honeymoon, and it still felt like we were cutting it close. Between rent, bills, and everything else that came up, saving for this trip took actual sacrifice. We skipped weekends out, birthdays were potlucks, and instead of upgrading our apartment, we stayed in the one-bedroom shoebox. But it was worth it to us. The whole time we just kept saying, honeymoon first. That was the dream. We didn't want some showy wedding with a $20,000 DJ. We wanted a trip we'd remember forever. Beaches, late-night wine, no alarms, just us. So when our flight finally took off, I felt this huge wave of relief. My new husband fell asleep right away with his head on my shoulder, and I just sat there grinning like an idiot. I had a glass of wine in one hand and my camera roll in the other, already flipping through photos from the wedding. I couldn't believe it had actually happened. We were married. We were finally on our way. Then my phone buzzed. It was my mom. She said something came up with my sister's bachelorette and asked if I could call. I thought maybe someone got sick. I didn't even hesitate. I called her from the plane using the Wi-Fi. The emergency? The maid of honor had dropped out last minute, and now my sister was in full meltdown mode. According to my mom, the whole trip was in jeopardy unless I came home to take over. I actually laughed. I thought she was joking. We were literally midair, halfway to Spain. I told her there was no way. This wasn't some weekend I could reschedule. It was the thing we'd been building toward for years. She got quiet. Then she said, "You're her only sister. Can't you just be there for her this one time?" That's when the flood started. Texts from my aunt, cousin, even friends of the family, all telling me how heartbroken my sister was, that I was being dramatic, that I could always rebook the trip. My grandma sent me a message saying, "Sometimes we have to put others first, sweetheart." Like I hadn't done that my whole damn life. My sister sent a selfie of her crying with the caption, "Thanks for ruining my last weekend as a single woman." I showed my husband. He didn't even know what to say. He just looked stunned. He asked if this was normal. I told him yeah, kind of. My sister's always been the favorite. When she flunked out of college, my parents said the school failed her. When I got into grad school, they asked if I'd thought about staying closer to home to help out. So no, this wasn't new, but it still hit hard. We landed and I tried to push it all away. We checked into the hotel, dropped our bags, and went straight to the beach. I kept thinking if I just ignored it, they'd stop. They didn't. My sister posted a photo of an empty table with the caption, "Guess some people can't be bothered." My mom texted again asking if I'd cooled off enough to see reason. Every time I picked up my phone, there was a new guilt trip. On the third day, I snapped. I called my mom and let everything spill. I told her I was tired of always being the one who had to bend, that this was the one thing I had asked for and I wasn't giving it up. She didn't fight me. She just said, "I'm disappointed in you." So I blocked them. I put my phone in the safe and didn't look back. For the first time in years, I let myself just be happy. I danced in the ocean. I took blurry photos of my husband holding tiny espresso cups. I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. When we got back, my sister still wasn't speaking to me. She left me out of her wedding party. And honestly, I didn't mind.